Do we go in the dark?
In your eyes I see your broken soul, and there's nowhere for my spirit to go. See the light that burns inside of you, and I know that I'll be close to you. Into the darkness we can fly, around the wings of your desire. I see you there. With all the love, with you I just can't get enough. I see you there. Into the darkness we can fly, around the wings of your desire. I see you there. With you I just can't. And there's nowhere for my spirit to go. See the light that burns inside of you, and I know that I'll be close to you. Into the darkness we can fly, upon the wings of your desire. I see you there.
All right, everybody. Sorry about that. We had a little bit of a link issue in one of our groups trying to make sure we're getting all of our information to everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope you're doing well. So, this is going to be a great, I think, a well-spent several minutes here. We're going to spend probably somewhere around 40-ish or so minutes is my hope to get through this. I'd love to kind of give you a little bit of an idea of what it means to be a coach. And so someone has invited you today, and I congratulate them. And I also congratulate you that they would think highly enough of you to consider this opportunity. So I really want to help, I guess, today my goal and my desire is to really help you make an educated decision as to whether Beachbody coaching would be a good thing for you. And I want to welcome you. This is we're part of Team Symbiotic, and we'll tell you a little bit more about that later as we get started. But we're going to get rolling, and I want to make sure that we kind of keep to our time commitment here, and I don't want to overwhelm you, but there will be a lot of information to be kind of thrown to you. But the best part about this is going to be recorded, and so you'll have a chance to kind of take a look at this later. Or if someone was here, was unable to make the call, and so that would be, if they weren't unable to make the call, we are recording this, and so we can pass this on to them. And if they did register for the webinar, they'll get a copy of that sent to their email directly. So just want to let everybody know that that's what's kind of going on. All right, here we go. So we're going to talk a little bit about a proven step-by-step system that will help you get fit both physically and financially. And so I'm going to say, if I could show you a way to get healthy and help others do the same, all while getting paid to do it, would you want to know maybe a little bit more? So most people, they sort of condition themselves to think that, I don't have enough time really to get in shape, or, I can't really afford it because, I've got gym memberships or whatever, or I got to buy food and supplement. Oh, I just don't, or they just simply can't. And so a lot of excuses sort of come up, and I've seen it play out in so many people's lives because I coach people not only in virtual world, but I also help people just coach people directly with particularly with health and fitness. And I've seen the excuse wagon kind of get rolled out quite a bit, especially when people seem to get started on things. Maybe they've got some great intention, but then wham, something hits them, something derails them, something takes them off course. But I want to see if we can push through that. But I want to tell you a little bit about my story first so you can get an idea of who I am. Okay, so a little bit about me. I used to be on the road to diabetes, and it claimed my dad's life. So after, and you can see my dad there in the picture, he, after about a 10-year battle, well, technically a 35-year battle, but in the last 10 years were the really rough years for him. Diabetes really just took him out, and everything from a leg amputation to well, it started with toe amputations to leg bypass to a full-out leg amputation to a pretty significant experience of strokes. So we'd have a lot of strokes, and his brain function just kept kind of dwindling and dwindling. So I saw what that did to my dad's life, and I just this really wasn't. I was on that road. Spent some more time at work, and I was doing just lots of stuff for work, and I would bring it home, and I would be working on it passionately. I had a real passion for my work, but yet I would kind of just, the whole physical side of taking care of myself, it wasn't much of a deal. And then also I felt the impact of the economy, particularly back in 2008. I was looking at our economic future, and with my current job at that point, I was looking at it, and I knew that college, I have 2 young daughters at that point, and just kind of forecasting, looking forward, having these people, and so, or having these two beautiful young ladies, and helping them get to college. I would really wanted to make sure that I was able to help them, but I was stuck. So, but here's the thing, but now there's a little bit of a different story going on. I went from 168, weighing the highest, and body fat percentage particularly, and that's the bigger deal for me because I'm definitely more of a smaller framed guy. I would call myself skinny fat back in the day. So I really didn't have a ton of weight to lose. I just had a lot of weight to convert. So 168 at about 23 body fat percentage, and now like currently I'm a little bit more than this right now because I've added a little bit more mass, but I'm somewhere about 158. But still in that 9% body fat range, which is not too shabby considering I'm 44 years old, probably in some of the best shape of my life. And that's my wife there. She's also a pretty fit gal as well. We've done and just had a chance to do some really cool things and to experience some things that I just never thought I would. You can see here if you're done any of the Beachbody programs. This is me with Sean T, me with Tony Horton. Got a chance to go to Las Vegas. You can see this is our in the top left corner. There's my coach David Ingram. Get a chance to work out with people. I get a chance to inspire people. We just get things have really changed for me, and some of my priorities and my ability to not only focus on my own health and my own wellness, but also to help others do the same has really changed. And so this next picture, you can see I got a chance to go to Disney World with Beachbody on Beachbody's dime, which was pretty cool. Got a chance to work out with Sean T right in front of the big globe dome thing at Epcot, which was epically awesome, and that was really a treat to be a part of something like that. And I just got also back from our cruise, which was an amazing cruise down in the Bahamas, and got a chance to visit Cozumel and go to Grand Cayman, and just things that I never thought that I would do. Just never thought, because I didn't have it. So, remember, I'm talking about my financial situation prior to this, being in a spot where I'm like, I was kind of stuck, and I hit the ceiling. And now maybe some of you can kind of relate to that point where it's like, you can't really advance anymore in your current company unless you maybe change companies, but maybe your career is such that even if you did change companies, that's about as high as it's going to get for you. And I experienced that exact same thing where I'd hit the sort of the top of where I was going to be in leadership, where I was, and I knew that it wasn't going to go any further, so I had to try to make some changes. And so this was initially this was a supplemental income to help me, but now I'm full-time, which is pretty cool. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. So it's time. Maybe you're stuck. Maybe you feel like you're in a spot where it's like, I wish I had, I wish I could, or I would love to, or maybe it's a thing of getting out of debt, or maybe whatever your thing is. I would love for us just a minute to get back to dreaming. So for the next few minutes, can you just imagine that you were a kid again, and you could do anything that you truly wanted? Okay, so like, let's say you wanted to be a spaceman. Okay, just for this moment, you can be that for just a moment. But too many people have stopped dreaming. You get kids, you get a certain amount of use to thing, you get a house, you get cars, you stop dreaming. But what I'm going to ask for us to consider, just for a moment, and you can go back to not dreaming after this, but I hope for just this moment that you take a minute to dream just a bit bigger and see maybe what might potentially be some future for you. So I would ask you this: where are you headed? If time and money were no object, what would you really want to do with your life? I'll let you think about that for just a second. If time and money were no object, what would you really want to do with your life? And I'm betting that could play out in a lot of different ways. Maybe you'd love to get in shape. That's part of the reason maybe you were even interested in this whole opportunities, like getting in shape. Oops, I'm sorry. Maybe financial freedom. Maybe there's a goal there. You'd love to be debt free, like I mentioned, or maybe you'd like to be able to be able to provide for your family in a different way. Maybe there's some time freedom you'd love to have. Maybe you're so buckled down or tied down to a schedule right now that you really can't. You can't budge. You're like, you're stuck because it's so regimented, and you've got there's maybe a 9 to 5 or whatever your job situation is. Maybe there's not enough flexibility for you. Maybe you'd love to actually travel, but you can never seem to get ahead enough to be able to save enough money to be able to pay for the plane flight to be able to go to the places that you want to actually kind of check out. And on top of that, you've got the time issue, which is the thing. So it all sort of snowballs. So maybe you've got some goals. Maybe there's some things you'd like to do. Or maybe you'd like to even make a difference in the world. Maybe you've got a particular charity that you're fond of that you'd love to be able to give to more. Or maybe you'd like to go on a missions trip. Or maybe you'd love to actually spend some time in a foreign country to actually help out people. But you just don't have the ability to do that because of the financial or time situation. Okay? So I'm going to ask you this one last thing. What if I could show you a way to get paid and get fit at the same time like we asked? But here, if you're already fit, maybe some of you are already in that situation, would you be open to hearing about helping others do the same and get paid? And so you might say, well, does that sound like really too good to be true? Well, stick around because I'm going to show you how. Let's hear a little bit about Brittany. So Brittany's story, and this is her husband John. She was in a situation where she in a job, and she was just feeling kind of exactly what we had mentioned, stuck. She felt stuck, and she'd been sort of hitting the ceiling and frustrated because she had to work long hours, and a lot of that started to cause some stress in her life. And some of that stress then also kind of compounded when she found out that she was having difficulty trying to get pregnant. And so that stressor just really, she took that out in a form of eating. So the stress would deal, she would stress eat. And she stopped taking care of herself because she was so stressed out about this whole thing about having a kid. And more, she experienced that and fell into like kind of a mini depression and came to the point where just really feeling kind of dark. And then ultimately a friend or someone invited her to be part of a challenge to get herself out of it, to kind of she'd come to that bottom point. And through a particular program that's called T25, that was one of her big transformational program, helped her see and get in line some her fitness, and also get in line some nutritional issues. And she was able to make this really great transformation. You can see the progression from left to right there. She's done some pretty amazing work, and she is now officially a full-time Beachbody coach, helping others and helping make an impact on their lives, and is dealing with less and less stress because she's doing something that she absolutely loves. A little bit about my friend Chris, and this is my friend Chris, and she's a direct connection to me. So Chris is also a full-time coach. She just moved into full-time. She had been part-time for a while, doing she's got a passion for pets, but she's now doing this officially full-time, which is very exciting, just as a recent. But you can check out Chris's story. And the cool thing about Chris, she actually won $1,000 for this particular transformation. You can see she was doing Rock and Body, and she did T25 in this, and she's using a product called Shakeology. And we can see she's lost now at this point, she's lost a full 100 pounds. So since this picture has been taken, she's lost a full 100 pounds, which is just absolutely stunning to think about. Like, my daughter weighs about 100 pounds. So she's like lost my daughter in her weight, which is amazing. And so she's gotten this transformation, and now she wants to pay it forward, which I think is pretty noble and pretty amazing, because I think the people who get most excited about this opportunity tend to be people who do get some results. And it doesn't have to be like a 100-pound loss, but it has to have some kind of and that's sort of over time you'll see that you will, the more you are a product of what we call a product of the product, that is something that can really then fuel your fire and also draw others to you, because they're looking for solutions as well. So, Team Symbiotic. Let's talk about a little bit about what we are. So, if you could combine fitness, nutrition, support, and then rewards for that, that would be essentially what we are. Okay? And if you put that all together, it's sort of this package. It's what we call it the Beachbody challenge. It's a solution that is not just partial. So a lot of companies, and I'm not going to mention anybody specifically, but I would say a lot of companies are parts and pieces of the solution. So you might get a company, and whether it's at home or if it's physically or whatever, where you're working just the physical side of things. So it's just workouts, okay? Or maybe you go to Walmart and you buy whatever, and it's like just workouts, okay? And then you might get also nutritional solutions, so that's supplements or it's a diet situation, and then you've got that side of things. And then there's also this whole support side of things, which is really important. But the extra little bonus, and I'll go back to that slide, is the fact that there's a rewards part of this as well. So there's this sense of helping a person get fit, get good nutrition, have support while they're doing it, and then ultimately you get rewarded for that. And then what happens is, as they find their transformation, they then would find someone else, and they are going to help someone else get fit, find good nutrition, help find support. And then they would get rewarded for it too as well. And it just keeps building and building and building. So it's this wonderful situation where there's really no ceiling. There's no limit to the people that we can help. Because if we understand that obesity is continually is growing here, the rate of obesity is still growing in America, even though we know tons of information. And we know all this stuff about studies that are people saying, oh, man, we're the most obese country ever. Oh, it's horrible. We're still having issues. And so there's the thing, guys. If there ever were a time to look at maybe getting into this thing, now's the time. This is being on the front lines of the battle to help stop obesity. And that's what we want to do, and help people find health and wholeness and freedom. For some people, the first time in their lives. And you could maybe be that solution. Does that sound good to anybody? That's what I would ask you. So maybe even now, there's something that's stirring in your heart that says, man, that sounds right. Something in this sounds right to me, because I really genuinely want to help people. And I'd love to have the freedom financially to actually be able to do it. And so we are looking for people to partner with us. And we're looking for people who have a passion and a love to help others do the same thing. So here we go. I want to tell you, but first, what this isn't. Okay? Many of you probably have a concern, because, let's face it, and I was the same way. This isn't selling stuff to people. Okay? This is not just, hey, let's just buy my stuff and then I'll get rich and then you'll get poor and I'll just get rich off of you. So it's not a get rich pyramid scheme, just so y'all know. We're not just, hey, let's get your, and so it's not this kind of illegal thing where we're just exchanging money, but there's really nothing's changing hands. And so it's not some kind of pyramid scheme. It's also not like buy a pill and lose 100 pounds in like a day, kind of a scam thing. And it's not just buy some product and then we'll see ya and say, hey, good luck with that, kid. I'll see ya. I'm just going to take your money and that's it. Okay? We want you to know that that is not what this is, and tell you a little bit more about what it is as we move along here. What it is a team, and it was founded by Team Symbiotic. Was founded by David and Kate Ingram. David's my direct coach, and his wife Kate. They're actually just moving to Colorado soon from California. They just established this, which is great. They were able to do what we call lifestyle by design. They chose to move because they had the flexibility. Full-time coaches, both of them, and they've had the flexibility and the ability to move, and because they wanted to move, not just because the job was there or whatever. They were able to move where they wanted, and Colorado is the new place, which is very exciting, and their house is stunning, which is fantastic, and they have a lot of kids, so that definitely does help. So Team Symbiotic, let's read a little bit about this. We're on a mission to help other people with the health issues that are stealing their life away by helping busy people to lose weight, reduce stress, increase their energy, and so they can enjoy life. And so maybe that's you. Maybe you've been a busy person, and maybe you're stressed out, or maybe you need to lose weight, or maybe you need an energy increase. So what is that? Or maybe you found that. Maybe you're on the road to that. But you can see that this thing is a valuable thing, and you'd like to maybe help others do the same thing. So that's kind of what we're about. And so life really, folks, is meant to be enjoyed, not just endured. And you can kind of see that, and everybody sees that on Facebook, right? You see those quotes, you see like, hey, it's whatever, dream bigger, you should live the life you've always wanted, and blah, 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 blah. But a lot of people don't take that seriously. And I'm sure you know somebody, maybe it's even you, who sort of said, yes, I know that I'm meant to do more, but I feel stuck, and I feel afraid because if I take the risk, I might fail. And I would say the same thing, or tell you, I felt the same way, exactly the same way. But since I've taken the jump and I've done this and really stepped into this and to own this, oh my goodness, the freedom. And you could ask my wife, and she would tell you that I'm a new man. I'm a new man. I've taken on a leadership role now with my team that is completely different. My heart continues to grow as I help people. So some of the kind of self-inward kind of talk or self-doubting talk continues to cease more and more as I'm helping others find success. And maybe that's you. Maybe you need that boost even today. So if you know that you were meant for more, stick around. We'll show you how. All right? So here's how it works. And I'm going to tell you. So Team Symbiotic, we've partnered with Beachbody. Okay, the makers P90X, Insanity, that kind of stuff. Maybe you've seen like 21 Day Fix is a big infomercial right now. You might also see Focus T25 is another infomercial that's kind of big out there right now as well. Shakeology as well. We partner with them to help people get fit both physically and financially. So you can get paid and get fit while helping people others do the same. And we're going to show you exactly how to do it. And so I'm going to ask you this: how does it work? And you might ask, how does it work? So maybe you know these big chains, like Gold's Gym is around, Planet Fitness is big around here with us. So it's effectively, if we have this idea of a workout place where you go to work out, or maybe it's even like you use Jillian Michaels DVDs that you buy at, you buy them at Walmart or whatever, and hey, you spend your $16.95 and you get that one, and you go back maybe a month later and you get another one, and you keep kind of doing. So the idea is these are places where you go and you get a service and you pay for it, right? You pay to work out, you do that kind of thing. Next, there are places where you maybe go for some supplements. So maybe you take some vitamins, or maybe you do some protein powder, or maybe you've got a meal replacement shake, or maybe you go get bars, or that kind of stuff. You do that stuff, and what do? You go to GNC or you go to Vitamin Shop, and you go in there and you buy it, and you pay them money, and they give you stuff. Now here's the thing: for both Gold's Gym, Planet Fitness, and Jillian Michaels, as well as GNC, Vitamin Shop, they take their share, right? So there's a markup, and they end up taking that share from you, right? They get their share, and they of course give the rest to the companies that supply. So they're really effectively distributors of either nutritional products or distributors of fitness. Okay. How does it work? Also, Facebook, you guys understand, this is a connecting piece, and this is where it all, we understand how Facebook works. This is a connecting piece, but I want to tell you. So let me kind of how this all works back together. So if we had a situation where you had great fitness, that would include things like maybe you would experience at Planet Fitness, great nutritional products that then we would help supply, and that we kind of remove the middleman. Using Facebook or social media, it doesn't matter. You can be Facebook, you can do Instagram, you can do whatever. That's a great tool. So social medias are great. Also, particularly in-person conversations as well. And what if there were rewards that were involved in that? So if we had, once again, great fitness, great nutrition, support, and rewards. So here's our solution. It's called the Beachbody Challenge, and I mentioned earlier a little bit about it. So here's the deal. As a coach, you would be a person who would be an effectively, you don't need to be a professional fitness person. You don't need to be a nutritionist. You don't need to be an exercise guru. But all you do need to have is a helping heart and a little bit of savvy when it comes to helping people reach their goals and to motivate them and to inspire them, I guess is the better word, to inspire them towards their goals. Okay? So as a coach, you would have a whole product line of things that could be potential solutions for them. So not everybody's ready for P90X3, but somebody might be ready for PIO, because PIO is a very low impact program that we do. It's a fitness workout program that you do at home. Not everybody's ready for Insanity, but Focus T25 is actually shorter and has a modifier in there so that you could actually help people make progress first and not feel overwhelmed as Insanity. I'm an Insanity instructor, and I know it's crazy. That's why it's called Insanity. So anyway, that's the idea. As we're helping people with these solutions as a coach, that's really, really cool. And the fun part is, as you are connecting people with these solutions, you get a 25% commission for every solution that you end up connecting a person or a customer or a client with. Okay? So let's say they do end up buying a PIO or whatever, you get 25% of that sale. If they end up buying a bag of Shakeology, they want to do meal replacement shakes, okay? And that's great. So you would have the opportunity to then make 25% off of that sale. And if they do it for like beyond 1 month, that's like a monthly, then a regular part of your income, which is pretty cool. And this is the retail part. And there's a whole structural multi-level part of this as well in terms of the network side of it, and that we'll explain in just a bit. As a coach also, if you do purchase any of these things, you get 25% off of all programs and all supplements and all products that are in the Beachbody catalog, which is pretty cool. So, as a new release comes out, I'm always excited to find something new. We've got in September, we got a new Tony Horton, the maker of P90X, has a new kind of the predecessor to P90X. We're calling it, it's a kinder, gentler version, an on-ramp to P90X called P90. And I'm very excited about that program. We get 25% off that program when it releases, which is really great. And so it's awesome. And as a coach, then you start to be able to build, because you've got this 25% commission minimally in the beginning. You start to see things like little paychecks that start to come to you, and whether in the physical form or actually in more of obviously register for a direct deposit into your account, and you start seeing these weekly paychecks. And you're like, in the beginning, it was like I had this situation where I was I became a coach early on, and I just became for the discount. So literally, all I wanted was a 25% discount, the negative 25. I really wasn't into it for the whole gaining from other people. But then people started asking me a little bit, like, hey, that stuff you're using, it seems like it's working, and you're like getting some great results. You think you can give me some of that? I'm like, well, yeah, sure, absolutely, I'll get you some of that. And I ended up getting this 25% commission. So like, I started getting like checks like $70 a week. I'm like, $70 times 4, that's like $280. That's like approaching a car payment. Huh? That's pretty cool. And so it kept growing and growing, and then it became like 2 car payments. Wow, that's cool. And then it was a mortgage payment, and then it just kept, and now I'm full time. So letting you know that it's really a pretty cool thing. Alicia's story is in a similar way. She's also gone recently. She's a diamond coach, and she's gone full time as well. And Alicia has had a really wonderful transformation as well, and she's lost a ton of weight. But here's the cool part, and she can say this specifically for as a kind of a testimony, is that her story is making those early payments. So first of all, paying for her products. So if she's like, initially that's one of the things it was important, because I love Shakeology. Shakeology is a great product that I use, but getting that paid for was important to me. Same thing for Alicia, is that she was very adamant about getting that taken care of. And then it's like, you know what? Hey, now I'm getting beyond that, and I'm making car payments, and beyond that I'm getting towards mortgage payments, which is really, really great. So the possibilities are everything from, a part-time situation where you're just doing this part-time and you really have no sense of going on anything further than that. Maybe you just want to make a car payment, maybe pay for some of your products, and you love this lifestyle of fitness and you love how it keeps you accountable. That might be a great thing for you. Or all the way up to, hey, I'm a full-time person, I'm going to earn 6 figures. Great. And it happens. We even have people, of course, within our whole network that earn 7 figures, which is, we're not promising that right off the bat, but I just want you to know that's certainly possible. Okay? I'll ask you, once again, we've said this before, but isn't it time to dream again? So once again, if you could get fit both physically and financially and have that extra income to maybe make the car payment like we just talked about, save for a vacation, make a mortgage payment, save for kids' college, what would that do for your life? Think about that for a second. If you could have a car payment made, a vacation paid for, a mortgage payment on a regular basis, what does that do for the rest of your life? Does that mean that you don't have to work as often? That maybe you don't have to take extra shifts? That maybe you don't have to work a second job? Maybe you don't have to, you see what I'm saying? And you can do this all from home. So you can do this part-time, or you can eventually do this as a full-time income. And here's a story of a friend named Bo, and Bo is a newer coach, and the really cool thing about Bo's story is he's gotten a great transformation as well, but the thing with his story that's really pretty unique is that in the first 3 months, because he worked his tail off, he earned $2,400 in the first 3 months. What could you do with $2,400 in 3 months? And I'm not saying, and Bo's not like crazy, like abnormal kind of guy. He just worked his tail off, and I know the guy, and he's a hard worker, but it's not like he suddenly had magic hands or like a magic potion that manufactured this. He just reached out to people, asked them to come along, and they responded. He offered to it in a genuine way. Okay, so I want to give you some specifics here, and then we can kind of talk about this. So getting fit physically and financially, I want you to get back with the person who invited you to this webinar. And the idea is we would love for you to consider purchasing a challenge pack. Now, a challenge pack is essentially a DVD program with 1 month of what we call Shakeology. And Shakeology being that really fantastic meal replacement shake that is, it's not a protein shake, it's not a diet shake, it's a once-a-day meal replacement shake that's a daily dose of dense nutrition that is so fantastic. I've been using it for 2.5 years straight, almost every day. I probably have missed 3 days in the entire 2.5 years. Using that product on a regular basis has been a transformational for me. But getting a DVD program and also getting that 1 month of Shakeology ranges anywhere from about $140 around to $239, $245 in that area for 1 month. Month 2 beyond that, you would save 25% on all products, including Shakeology. So check out the different prices here. So the coach price for Shakeology, $98. The retail price for Shakeology, $129 for 30 days worth of meals. So that's a pretty significant savings when you look at that on a monthly basis. So if you are considering doing Shakeology on a regular basis, this is a good idea. And that's what I did initially. I just hey, I just want to save the discount. I'm happy to do it. But then people started asking me questions because I got results, which is a great thing. And that's what we want for you. We want you to inspire the people around you by hey, what are you doing? I'd love to have more people ask that question of you, and then that would ultimately reward you for your hard work. Okay? Now, want to make you clear that there is a monthly coach web services fee, and this is $15.95. It's charged to every coach. It maintains 3 websites for customers to order from. It gives you a plain old what we call it our coaching site. There's a Shakeology site, and there's another site that's called the Ultimate Reset site. It's another product that we sell as well. But those 3 sites are maintained for you. All you have to do is set up some initial information on there, And then people, when they need to order and find information about products, they go to these websites. And that's great. So both the web fee, Shakeology, your programs are all tax write-offs. So further savings is possible. Okay? Additionally, workouts, and you get clothing. There's specific expenses that you can, let's computer, if you're using a computer at home, different things, cell phone bills, that kind of stuff. You can write off portions of that as well. So once again, you're getting 25% off of all the stuff that you would purchase, and as the bonus, you're getting 25% commission on that. Okay? And as you find freedom, both physically, maybe particularly physically, and you connect 3 customers with our solution, you minimally will get your Shakeology paid for. So it's just 3 customers. And honestly, guys, I just say this, within 3 weeks of me signing up as a coach, I ended up having 3 customers paying for Shakeology. And that was kind of what I experienced. And so initially when I did this whole thing, and when I got signed up with, so David, so let me give you this the quick story on this. So David, my coach, he ended up saying, or I sought him out by finding him on the internet. I needed some help with nutrition because I'd done P90X and I'd done Insanity for a whole year, and it just stunk. It was awful. I was like, I worked my tail off, and I really got just not very good results because my nutrition wasn't in line. And so what I ended up doing is I contacted this guy David, and I'm like, hey, what do I need to do? And he's like, well, have you considered Shakeology? I think it'd be a great thing for you because sounds like your nutrition, you're having some real problems with it. And so I then I'm like, and then I looked. We talked about the price. We got to the price situation, and I went, no way, totally not doing that. I'm never doing that. That's way too expensive. And he asked me this question. He said, has what you've been doing working for you? And I could just absolutely, honestly, it kind of stopped me right in my tracks because I'm like, of course, that's why I called him. A whole year of working out with P90X and Insanity, and I didn't get the results. So I'm like, no, it hasn't. But I didn't tell him that. I just said, no, I'm not doing it. And then literally that night, I had the link that he had sent me, ended up signing up as a coach, and got Shakeology like right that night, and then within 3 weeks, I ended up getting my stuff paid for. So that's kind of my story on that. It's definitely possible, guys. It's definitely possible to do. And beyond that, now, here I am, two and a half years into this process, and I'm a full-time coach. Okay? Going back to what you get for specifically becoming a coach. 3 websites maintained for you, no upfront investment other than your challenge pack. And that's pretty significant because there are some programs that are, whether it's a multi-level program, and maybe you've experienced some of that, where you do have a significant upfront cost because maybe you need to buy some inventory, or maybe you need to have products to be able to show to people. We don't really do that so much in this. You can have some of that stuff around. You can get sample packs and that stuff, but it's really not a lot to have on hand. And you never have to actually ship anything to you. So no physical handling of products, and that's fantastic. 25% discount on all your products, 25% for commission, like we said. Support of a top 10 team in the entire network of now over 200,000 coaches. Sorry, I need to update that number. So I've used this webinar before, or these slides. So we've got a really rocking team. And so I'd ask you this quick question. If you just save the 25% on all your products, and you had support of fantastic online groups to help support you in the fitness journey, able to write the stuff off, would this just be worth it? Just straight up that part of thing. Just save the 25%, and you get some support, and you can write the stuff off. That's just be what we would call a discount coach. Just doing that. Would it be worth it? Okay? Now here's the thing, though. There's a special promotion that we can say. And we would say, consider the benefit of being surrounded by mentors and coaches that are going to help you reach your goals and dream a little bit bigger. And our team is growing quickly, and so it's a limited time offer. And so we want you to join by this Thursday night if you already haven't. I know a couple I've seen people on here. I know a few of you are just kind of getting this information more. But by this Thursday, if you join at midnight, you're going to receive a few things. And this is where we're just going to kind of try to I guess put it this way, sweeten the deal for you and just give you that extra incentive to maybe make a change and to dream a little bit bigger. Okay? Number one, we want to give you the bonus, and this is what we call our quick start training. Okay? And so you can begin reaching out to people around you in a non-salesy way and genuinely help them reach their health and fitness goals. Learn how to quickly work towards minimally paying for your product and connecting people with our solution, and immediately apply action points to help you build your business. Okay, and that's a $77 value, which is pretty cool if you consider the fact that we are, we've got this great training and we're not just leaving you in the lurch and saying, hey, good luck, kid. Hope you can build your business. Okay, but there's more. But wait. Have you ever joined an opportunity, but they didn't really teach you really exactly what to say to people? Maybe you've done something like this before. But this takes so much of the fear out of genuinely helping people when you have info scripts. Okay? So there's actual scripts that we can give you that sort of help you talk through the language and start to own the language of how to talk to people about this. Okay? So plus we have weekly coach calls that give you greater confidence in understanding your process and developing your team. That's a $107 value, so it's pretty cool. Bonus number 3, 24/7 team support. Like I said, we have the weekly coach calls, and then this 24/7 coach support network on Facebook. You can get questions answered like all the time. I see people post like some people are crazy night owls, or maybe they're in a different time zones. They'll be posting like at 2:30 in the morning, and I'm like, well, how do you do that? Because I teach class at like 6 a.m. And then also having a mentor coach walk you through the basics of getting started in your business. Bonus number 4, specifically Facebook training. Now, contrary to popular belief, Facebook is not dead. Okay, there are people who out there say, "Oh, it's dead. Oh, it's just going. The kids are moving away. They're moving to Twitter and whatever." You know what? It's not dead. It's people still use Facebook quite a bit. It's the largest social media network by exponentially larger than the next one with Twitter. So, how to use Facebook to effectively grow your business? We will show you. Build a following as you learn to add value, and also reach out to new people beyond your sphere. And here's the mega bonus. I'm just going to use the voice. Mega bonus. Toolbox and Launchpad. My friend David, who's my coach, has put together this Toolbox Launchpad that is phenomenal. And this is like one of the best things that we have going on this. And it's access to our entire training call archive, complete guides to creating and running your own challenges, step-by-step guide to making your own transformation video, over 30 hours of different videos and everything. And you can kind of pick and choose. So maybe you know something on something and you need help on something else, you can find that. Okay? So putting this all together real fast, you've got this whole thing. We've got, if you would say, the challenge pack, coach sign-up fee, quick start training, info scripts, 24/7 team support, Facebook training, Toolbox Launchpad. Total value of that would be $948. But here's the deal: the prices for you between $140 and $239. Actually, $245 is the technical high end of that. Okay, $140, $239, and you're getting something to work out with, and you're getting 30 days of meals with that. Pretty decent deal, I must say. Okay. And so the real world value, right, is you've got this risk-free investment, because with every purchase, including becoming a coach, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee, risk-free. And so you return it, and you can even return you can drink a whole bag of shakes, and bam, you're set. You can return that box or return that bag, and no harm, no foul, and we'll refund your money. Okay. We want to sweeten the deal a little bit more. What if we can make it a little bit more? Mega bonus number 2. Here's the cool thing. When you order a challenge pack, you get a bonus DVD. It's $29. It's nice. Extra workout kind of mixes things up, and it gives you a chance to work out, just to have that an extra workout bonus when maybe you're doing a program. It's like, hey, this will mix it up. Here's an extra workout for you. Mega bonus number 3. In Team Symbiotic, you aren't just a number, and you really are a value team member. And
having just gotten back from our coach summit, which was in June of this past summer, got a chance to hang out with our people there. And you know what? It's true. We are really more of a family, and it is pretty amazing that we are able to be part of something that is bigger than us, a team that is bigger than us, and sort of this family that's spread out all across the country, which is really, really pretty cool. You're in business for yourself, but you're certainly not by yourself. And if you join before Thursday at midnight, and you will also solidify a personal phone call with a mentor coach that will walk you through everything you need to know. And once again, all of that, adding now the bonus DVD and the mentor call, total now value, we're way up here at $1,141. But now, really, 140 to 245. Wow, that's like, I think, a pretty decent deal. Okay, and we're not trying to just throw numbers at you to kind of sell, but it's true, because this training and this stuff is fantastic, and it really, really helps. So remember this: 30 days of meals, full DVD workout program, Facebook support. Both you get the web fee and the Shakeology or tax write-offs, and additionally, any workout clothing you can write off as well. Okay, so the deal is, this is time sensitive, and we really need you to get back with the person who invited you today to this webinar, and get started. Claim those bonuses, and so you can be in a great spot to then join this team, join this movement of being a solution to the obesity problem here in America, number one, but then also get rewarded for doing that. So getting fit physically, and then get fit financially. And so I want to really open this up now to questions, and I would love to get some feedback from you if you have any specifics about what we're doing here, and love to give you any, or I guess we just got a few moments here, and I'd love to answer any questions that we do have from you. So I'm going to check here real quick. What do we got? Attendees, very good. All right. I will put real quick here. I know there's actually a little bit of a delay here. All right. Not certain there are, and that's okay. Fantastic, because I've answered every question in the world pretty much, because that was pretty thorough. Just kidding. But we would love, if you do have questions, you can always get back with me via this. There's a gateway within the webinar that you got, or specifically, it's better for you just to really ask the person who invited you to this. So if you do have questions, we would love to have you get those answered. And remember, Thursday is that deadline, and we would love to have you join Team Symbiotic. So thank you so much for listening. And remember, if someone was there, oh, you do have a question. All right. Claire's got a question, and she's going to hopefully type it. Yes. Okay. Let's see if she's getting here or not. So, like I said, there's a little bit of a delay. Alrighty. So, Claire, if you can hear. All right. Well, I'll see if I can connect with Claire. Oh, there we go. Someone is a coach and ends up not selling. Can they still use it as a tax write-off? Absolutely. Yep, they're in business. They're still get a you get a tax ID. You delivered that. That's part of your it's connected to your Social Security, and so you have there is a Schedule C that you could potentially put on that, and you're using that as it is a business. It is a legitimate business. Whether or not you actually engage in that business is something. Now, over time, if you're not making, I would think your accountant would probably warn you if there's like 3 years of losses, because if all you're reporting is if you're reporting 3 years of losses in a row, all you're just claiming your Shakeology, then it might be an issue a little bit. Like, hey, what's this really about? But really, it is a legitimate business, and yes, you can write that off. So I mean, you'd have to definitely check with an attorney or an accountant, just to make sure that you are safe with that. But I believe so. My wife also used to do that way back when Creative Memories was happening, and she would pretty much take a loss every year in that one. All right. Any other questions, if we have them? We are running perfectly on time, exactly 1 hour, if you consider we started a little bit late. All right, everybody. Well, if you have more questions, like I said, answer or ask the people who invited you to this webinar. And thanks so much for listening. And I do hope you'll consider joining Team Symbiotic. Have a great, great night. Thank you.